What's going on, guys? Welcome back. Kellen here again with Droid Life. So it's the end of the, well, it's almost the end of the year, and that always means new Pixel phones before we finish up and hit that holiday season. There's two this year. Once again, we have a Pixel 4a 5G, which I have in my hand right here. There's also a Pixel 5. We're starting with this guy. Don't worry, though. There will be plenty of Pixel 5 coverage, as that is sort of the higher end model of the two. But we got to start somewhere, right? So let's do this one. Pixel 4a 5G unboxing. All right, Pixel 4a 5G, obviously the bigger brother to the regular Pixel 4a that launched just a couple of months ago. This one has 5G. The specs have been upped a little bit. The price has been upped a little bit to $499. But otherwise, it's definitely a 4a. It's got the 60 hertz refresh rate in the display, 6 gig RAM. The battery's not quite as big as we're going to find in the Pixel 5. So some of the stuff has been dropped down, but a lot of the hardware is actually pretty close to the 5. So you're going to have this interesting sort of a decision to make. Do you go 4A, jump in here into the middle of the 4A 5G, or do you just go crazy and go Pixel 5, which is the most expensive of the two? Either way, this guy is, well, it's launched a little bit later in the US, November. So if you're somewhere else, it's launching sooner. The US, sorry. So anyway, a tour of the box. 5G logo, 5G there, Google logos, Team Pixel, hashtag Team Pixel, pull tabs. We love pull tabs. I don't have to get the knife out for Google phones. You love to see that. All right, Pixel 4a 5G out of the box. Well, here is the phone. I'm just going to set that for a second. What else is in here? Usually wrapped up in here are just some guides from Google. Looks just like, I mean, this could be a quick start. I'm not really going to undo that. That is a SIM removal tool, though, so you can pop the SIM out. Probably has eSIM as well, though, but SIM tool in case you just want to slap the SIM in there. Also, looks like an 18-watt USB-C charger, so 18-watt fast charging. This phone does not have wireless charging, but does have 18-watt fast charging. The reason I say that is because all these other guys are doing 65-watt charging and things right now. USB-C to USB-C cable, USB-C port in the bottom of the phone, and then this obviously goes in the charger. And then this is your transfer tool. So, you know, if you have like an old cable, I can never get this one out. Does anyone else struggle with this one? Good Lord. There we go. This one, so USB-A there. So if you have like an old cable from your old phone and it's USB-A to C or something, you can use this to transfer to your new Pixel. All right, let me clean this up and we'll look at some more hardware. Okay, let's talk phone. Looks like just like the 4A, just a simple sheet of plastic on top, not fully wrapped. Look, we got to cut cost places, people. Here's the phone. So this version, Pixel 4a 5G in black, just black. There's also a clearly white version that is a Verizon exclusive as far as we know in the US. That thing also has a price increase too. So this one though is the unlocked model that will be $499. So decent price there. Let's turn it on and just make sure there's a little bit of battery so you can also just see the layout of the display here. See that? Little front camera there. All right, so let's talk specs. Well, obviously you have a fingerprint reader on the back, which we love. Just like the Pixel 4a had, the 5 has that as well. So we love to see that back. These are just so much better than the awful in-screen ones that everyone's been using. But it runs Android 11, of course. 6.2-inch AMOLED display on this guy. It's 1080, so not quad HD or anything like that. It's also 60 hertz, so you don't get the high refresh rate. Pixel 5 has 90 hertz. You know, Galaxy S20s and stuff are up to 120 hertz. This is 60, which is exactly like the Pixel 4a, which is exactly like all phones you used prior to, I don't know, last year. The 90 hertz, 120 hertz is still fairly new stuff. So what else? Snapdragon 765G on the inside. This is the processor you're going to find in a whole bunch of phones this year because it allows them to get on 5G networks across the globe at a reduced price from the Snapdragon 865. That's the really high-end chip. But it's just at a fraction of the cost, really, but you still get pretty good performance and camera performance and all that stuff. So it has a 765G. That is the same processor that's in the Pixel 5, so you should get similar performance between the two. As I mentioned earlier, 6 gig RAM. Pixel 5 has 8, so 6 gig RAM here, just like the regular 4A. 128 gig storage, no SD slot. A 3,800 milliamp hour battery, slightly smaller than the Pixel 5's 4,000 milliamp hour battery. Again, 18-watt charging through the USB-C port down here. No wireless charging in this. Phone is plastic. It seems like they could have tossed it in, but again, added costs. Cameras. So the camera situation here is pretty interesting. The Pixel 4a has one camera, a 12 megapixel camera with a flash. This one has two, 12 megapixel, so same camera in the 4a, but they also tossed in a 16 megapixel ultra wide. Cool, right? Same camera setup actually it's in the Pixel 5. So you have the same camera in this phone versus the 5. You get the extra lens here over the 4A. Again, we're kind of like right in the middle of everything, which is probably the point. This camera I mentioned up front briefly, that is an 8 megapixel shooter. I don't know that you should expect a ton from that, but it's there and it'll take selfies. And there's portrait mode and stuff like that too. So what else? We still got the fingerprint reader. We got stereo speakers. We do have a headphone jack in this one. So there is your 3.5mm headphone jack, just like the 4A. 5 doesn't have it. Plastic, just black. Very light, 168 grams. It is plastic. Little white accent button there. Really excited to get the white one in maybe in-house at one point, just because these matte black phones are, well, they're just a little boring. But anyway, that's the phone. What else? Oh, you know what I happen to have here? A regular 4A. So here is the regular 4A. You can just see a comparison here. So slightly bigger phone. Not much, but slightly bigger. Obviously, you have the dual camera setup versus the single. Same exact design, though. Plastic, matte, just black, fingerprint readers, those white buttons, the same selfie cameras up front, exact same design. USB-Cs and speakers in the same spots. Both have headphone jacks up top. $349 for the little guy, $499 for the bigger guy. Both pretty substantial, solid values, I would say there. Can't really dive into anything else, so we're just going to probably leave it at that. Stay tuned for tips and tricks, reviews, all that fun stuff with the 4A, and of course, the Pixel 5 stuff. If you have comments, questions, let us know. We are Droid Life. Peace.